Happy Hump Day. It was devastation in San Diego. Let's talk some more baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven, and happy Hump Day to everyone. We are here in the middle of the week, and you already heard it. I am devastated. I needed some time to cool off before I got on camera, because what I saw in San Diego was just heartbreaking to me. We're going to go over the bets in a little bit. We only lost under a unit. It was a small losing day. It should have been a big winning day. Just no doubt about it. I love the reads, but again, we'll go over that. But let's get right to it. The winner for the Dinger Tuesday contest for the 6 months free of Outlier is nobody yet, because we have a tie. At Gray Gordon 7968 and at Hoovert Beanhead. That's right. You two both picked Colton Cowser at plus 750. So now we have to have a Wednesday showdown, or only our second one of the year. Here's what you two guys have to do, and remember, the games start early. You have to each pick 5 players. The most combined total bases wins. That's right. And a base is not on a walk, it's only on hits. So pick 5 players, most total bases wins. Remember, the games start early on the West Coast. It's around 10 a.m. Just some of them. There's some late games also. So if you can't get to it till middle of the day, make sure you are picking players that have not played yet. If there's one player in your list that has already played, that player will just not be counted for the total bases. So up to you two for the 6 months free Outlier. Good luck. Unfortunately, we don't have a win yet, but we had some other winners down there below. You guys hit some, but it just wasn't as good as Kalsher. My goodness, plus 750. That was a nice one. But anyways, real quick, if you don't know already, Outlier is incredible. Go check it out. Click the link below. You get a free trial. It's a great betting research tool. It's been saving me time and helping me get some winners just in the short time I've been using it. So we got a full slate, and by full slate, I mean not 15 games. We have 16 games thanks to a doubleheader. So let's get on with it, and that means it's time for the baseball fun fact. Here we go. On June 23rd, 1971, Phillies pitcher Rick Wise did something no one has ever done before in baseball and still has never done. He hit 2 home runs and also threw a no-hitter versus the Reds. That is Shohei Ohtani stuff right there. That is absolutely impressive, and he might do it one day. But anyways, in this video, we're going to recap yesterday and then go over the good hitter matchups. And then we have, it's Wednesday, so we got the Who's on Fire. And then the bad hitter matchups, good pitcher strikeout matchups, pitcher report, and then ended with the best bets and the bets recap. So hit that like button. Leave a comment below like you guys do every day. We had a ton of participation in the Dinger Tuesday contest, and that's awesome. This channel is all about community, and I love going back and forth with you guys. Thank you for participating. But if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're going to have a lot of fun talking baseball all summer, and then football right around the corner. And basketball is actually not that far away either. So let's get into it. And it starts with the recap. All right, there it is. It was a 3-4 day. And for you guys that didn't follow baseball or anything yesterday, you might just look at this and go, oh, he had a small losing day. No, we got robbed. Let's just face it. I'm not here to make excuses. It was rough. Yandy Diaz, though, first pitch he sees of the game, bomb. That was an easy cash. Nationals first 5 money line. Let's just get into it. Up 4-2, bottom 5th. There's 2 outs. They cannot get the final out. There's literally a hit. Mackenzie Gore should have got taken out. I don't know what the manager was thinking leaving him in. He's obviously struggling, and they just leave him out there. And then with second and third, that's right, second and third, 2 outs, they hit a ground ball to the left of C.J. Abrams. He dives. It goes in his glove and out just enough to trickle farther behind him. Both runs come in to score. Oh, they were down 1 actually at that time. It was 4-3, and the Padres take the lead 5-4. They get the next out. We lose the first 5. Yep, I didn't want to bet the whole game because I didn't want the bullpen to blow it, but instead the starting pitcher blew it in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs. It's baseball. That's why I love the sport, but that sucked. Austin Gomber to 3.5 Ks. I watched every pitch of him. He had 2 Ks because of long at-bats, one by Bregman, and then on a full count pitch, he throws a fastball down the middle, and they don't swing. Just didn't even swing. And then he picks up, he has a full count, 5th inning. I knew it might be his last at-bat. I think it was his second to last batter. And he throws a curveball to Yainer Diaz. He swings and misses after a long at-bat. That was his 4th K. Boom, he's done, and he ends it on the hook. That was just brutal. And oh, by the way, Gomber gave up 5 runs in the first inning with 0 Ks. So I thought this was easy. It was over. And then he settled down. Somehow got it done. But anyways, Abrams, Quan, easy win there. Quan, 3rd at-bat, I think. Abrams, first at-bat. Adley Rutschman over 1.5 bases was just disappointing. He looked like he is going through something in life because he looked like he didn't want to be there. He was whining on every pitch. He did not look ready to play. Every other player on the field was smashing the ball, and Adley just comes up looking awful. He did. He finally got an infield single late in the game. But he got the last out of the game. It was a blooper. Thought it might go down. We might cash it, but Stephen Kwong catches it. Team total parlay. This was a late ad with like 45 minutes to go before one of the games started. That's why it's helpful to go join Discord and Twitter, both free. But we hit 2 of these 3. The other one didn't play. Atlanta didn't play, but hit Dodgers and O's really, really easily. I might try more of those alternate team total parlays. That was a win, not a full unit win on that one, but it was still a win. And then Jaron Duran, we took another chance for a half unit, and he goes 0 for 5. I mean, these people suck when I bet them to get 2 or more hits. But either way, 3 and 4, like I said, it was a small losing night. We're going to bounce back. It was just tough, some of these, that's for sure. But that's baseball betting. I'm not the only one dealing with it, but I just like to come on here and vent. So thanks for listening. Appreciate it. But now let's get into it. And it starts with the good hitter matchups. All right, we got 11 good hitter matchups for you. That's right, just 11. Starting with Tim Anderson, 9 for 22 with an extra base hit versus Brady. I should be a singer. And then Aaron Judge, 5 for 12 with 2 RBIs, or 2 extra base hits and 2 home runs versus the lefty Sean Manaea. And then Rowdy Tellez, Corey Seager, as you see, Vlad's been hitting the ball pretty well, 4 for 9 versus Cutter Crawford. George Springer, who hit a bomb yesterday, the day after, I bet is under 2.5 hit, or 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, which is nice that he did that. But he's 4 for 9 with a home run as well, and then so on and so on. Nothing huge here, but those are the 11 best hitter matchups. And now, for the second time this year, let's take a look at the worst hitter matchups for June 26th. And I have 6 of them for you. McCann, 6 for 33. Rojas, 2 for 17. So on and so on. Obviously, 0 for 6 doesn't mean you can't hit him or anything like that. I want to put that on here. I might limit this to like 10 at-bats only at some point. But I just want to point these out. You know, maybe these help you prevent from betting on a guy, or maybe they don't help at all. I'm not sure, because I just told you Chris Flexen has dominated Shohei Ohtani. We know that was a joke anyways, but Shohei goes, of course, and hits a bomb, because that's just what Shohei does. But anyways, those are the good and bad hitter matchups for today. And now let's talk some arms. All right, before we get to those arms, actually, we got to talk who's on fire, baby. That's right. If you are new to the channel, we do this once every single week, and it is a buttload of info. And as you can tell, the weather's heating up. Summer baseball's here, and there are a ton of hitters right now. There is a lot of hitting and a lot of runs, because we have 3 pages where we have had almost like a page and a half for most of the year. So 3 pages. I'm not going to go through each one. If you see a number in green, that means they are the leader in the clubhouse. You must have at least 20 at-bats and hit 340 or higher. This is all the last 7 days. You can see all the numbers here, guys. Jaron Duran, 429, we talk about all the time. But how about Bryce Harper? It's all the Bryce Harper show, guys. 538 average, 5 bombs, and 11 ribbies in 7 days. It's just silly. It really is. It's just silly. But how about Vlad with 10 ribbies at 370 average as well? Mountcastle, Josh Lowe down there, Lau, whatever. I know 1 is 1. But anyways, Adley Rutschman, 379. We didn't know what he did yesterday, unfortunately. But there's just so many hitters to get to. This is page 1, so take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you get some winners. Let's go check out page 2 now. And we got some big-time hitters here as well. Ryan McMahon, 435. Jackson Merrill, the rookie, hitting 435 as well. Bregman, like I mentioned, he's just been an absolute tear after being terrible to start the season. And so on and so on. So hopefully this helps you get some winners as well. We got more Oriole players, of course, because their whole lineup seems to be up here. And still waiting for the first Mariner player, because that's just how we roll on offense. But Josh Naylor, 360, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, so on and so on. So let's check out now the final page, and there is the leader in batting average. Who would have guessed it? Brendan freaking Donovan of the St. Louis Cardinals, hitting 550. And Shohei is also tied with Bryce Harper with 11 ribbies as well. But a surprising one for me here is Jonathan India, a guy that the Reds thought was gonna be really, really good. He hasn't quite lived up to expectations, but in the last 7 days he sure has. 524 is pretty impressive. And then down there on the bottom, CJ Abrams, like we talked about, he helped us cash a hit parlay yesterday. He's just been hitting the ball really well. He had a lazy moment, 2 moments yesterday. Got picked off first twice. It was pathetic to watch, honestly. But anyways, he's still hitting the ball at least. And then Jake Cronenworth up there for the Padres, hitting almost 500 at 455, which has been impressive. And by the way, Brian Reynolds, ho-hum, 22-game hit streak, hitting 409. Just unbelievable right now. But those are the hitters on fire in the last 7 days. 3 pages of them. Hopefully this helps you get some winners, not just today, but throughout the week, the weekend. I like to use this with good matchups to kind of find those hitter parlays and stuff like that. So now it's time to talk some arms. All right, there it is. We got 2 good pitcher strikeout matchups for you, and we got Ryan Pepio of the Rays going up against Seattle Mariners. Now, I really should just say we got insert pitcher name versus the Mariners. Mariners' sixth highest K percentage versus righties in June at 24.9%, which is actually good for them. Pepio, 75 Ks and 66.1 innings this season. He does have a higher K rate on the road at 25.3 compared to 31.7 at home. He will be at home in this one. He's just been inconsistent. I'm not a huge Pepio guy, to be honest with you. But in his last 7 starts, 4 less Ks in 4 of those games, and 7, 8, and 9 in the other 3. So, it's Seattle. Zach Littell just got over 5.5 Ks, which was his line pretty easily. So maybe it doesn't matter. But I just want to give you all the info because anybody facing the Mariners usually has one of their career days. So, and then the second one, Chris Sale versus the Cardinals. Reminder, there's a doubleheader. So if you are to bet Chris Sale, make sure you pick the right one. St. Louis, 9th highest K percentage versus lefties in June at 22.7%. Sale, 107 and 86.2 innings. We talked about this every time with Sale. Sale, 8, or I don't know what I'm saying there, 6+ Ks and 13 of 14 starts, 7+ and 11 of 14. Just been super consistent. The only one he really struggled was that game against the A's. We all know. I think it was on a Sunday. It was just weird. He only struck out 4 and got rocked. But he has a higher K rate on the road, which is good because he is on the road. He has it at 34% compared to 29.4% at home. And even on tough matchups, he's done well. Like you see there, 8 the Yankees, 10 versus the Nationals, and 9 versus the Padres. So he's just a stud right now. But those are the 2 good pitcher strikeout matchups for you for June 26th. I know Luis Gil is throwing also, but he does not have a good matchup at all. Doesn't mean he can't K guys, but just wanted to point that out. So now it's time for the pitcher report. All right, here are the first 8 matchups of the day, and we got my boy George Kirby with that 2.4% walk rate going up against Ryan Pepio, like we already talked about. And then Ortiz, who's probably going to be more of an opener, not throw a ton of innings for the Pirates, going up against Graham Ashcraft. That's right, 10.1 hits per 9 innings, 5.05 ERA. Then Turnbull's going to pitch for the Phillies, going up against a nobody right now. The Detroit Tigers have not listed it. And then we got Ryan Feldner, who has just been bad. Let's just face it. He's awful. 6.02 ERA going up against Spaghetti. And Spaghetti has over a 6 ERA, but he has a 4.05 expected ERA. He has been pitching better since his first few starts in the major leagues for his career. So the numbers are a little skewed there. He is better than those. But then we got Brady Singer, due for some negative regression, going up against Belozo. I have not had time to look him up, so I couldn't tell you more info. Maybe I'll leave it in the comments or something, but he is a new guy making his first start. And then Colin Ray, I'm not Colin Rio, whatever. He has not been good. He is due for massive negative regression with that 5.61 expected ERA. Does not miss a lot of bats. Not a ton of great pitchers in this page, to be honest with you. We do have Dylan Cease down there, but he has a 4.14 ERA. But him and Hurst, I think that's how you pronounce it, for the Washington Nationals, both have high K rates. But that rookie, I believe, for the Nationals only pitched 18 innings. So. But take a screenshot. There's the averages on the bottom. If you were new, this is just a way to kind of help start your day and what these games got going on with the pitcher matchup. And now let's check out page 2. All right, these are the final 8 matchups now, and we got Yariel Rodriguez up against Cutter Crawford there for the Red Sox. Yariel's not very good. Let's face it. You can see in the numbers, super average K rate. Gives up a crap ton of hits and a lot of runs. As you can see, Cutter Crawford's been pretty solid this year. Luis Gil, is he going to bounce back from that awful start that we saw last time we bet on him? But 2.91 expected ERA, high K rate. He just loses his command sometimes. But against Sean Manaea, who's been just kind of okay, he's nothing special to me. Chris Sale has been impressive. I mean, how about a 2.91 ERA and a 2.91 expected ERA? That's one way of determining that you're just dominating and there's no luck to it at all. 31.4% K rate. The crazy thing for me with Sale is that he has a 4.7% K rate. Sometimes he's known to get wild, but He's having Chris Sale prime years right now, going right against Palante of the Cardinals, who is due for some positive regression, but I don't think he's that good of a pitcher at all. Fetty, we know, has been solid, and he's even better at home as well. And Gavin Stone, those are just 2 solid pitchers. That's a good matchup there. Well, for pitchers, not for offenses. Then Ryan Nelson, my goodness, he gives up the most hits on the card, it looks like, other than Yariel Rodriguez. But Nelson's thrown 64 innings, giving up 11.1 hits per 9 innings. Carrasco is just, he's due for the minor league stint if he even goes there at this stage of his career. But going up against Grayson Rodriguez, we're going to talk more about that game later. And then Birdsong. That's a real name, guys. I tried to make fun of it or say something cool about it. I just can't. It's Birdsong. I don't know anything about the guy. I have not looked him up. going up against TBD. That's nobody, by the way. The Cubs do not have anyone listed. So Reynaldo Lopez going in the other game. I think this is how it is. You might want to check, but it looks like it's Sale Palante for one of the two games in the doubleheader, and Reynaldo Lopez and Kyle Gibson. And you guys all know I love me some Reynaldo Lopez. I mean, he's so good. He's consistent, 26% K rate, due for some negative regression, of course, but 1.5 ERA like we already talked about before with him. So, but anyways, those are the 16 matchups we have for you and the pitcher report. Hopefully this helps you get some winners. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first game takes us out to Camden Yards where the Orioles host the Cleveland Guardians. Orioles on the money line minus 185. Guardians on the money line plus 150 with a total of 9.5 runs. And speaking of that total, let's go over 9.5 runs at minus 110 on DraftKings is my best bet. We all know these two offenses are just absolutely awesome. They combined for 18 runs yesterday. Doesn't mean they're going to combine for that today. But these hitters are hitting well at that in Camden Yards this series. We have Carlos Carrasco Tabasco versus Grayson Rodriguez. Let's talk about Carrasco. This stage of his career, later in his career, I really do expect him to be released or DFA'd or something at some point this year. He just has not been good. He doesn't strike out many guys. 5.40 ERA, around a 5 expected ERA. He's pitching for a team that's trying to do something special this year in the Guardians, and he is not a guy that's going to be counted on, that's for sure. But gives up a lot of hits, facing a Baltimore offense that absolutely smashes righties. They just do. Third best WRC plus since May 1st. They have scored the most runs in the major leagues since May 1st off righties with 202 runs. Only one other team even has more than 175. That's the Yankees. I do expect the Orioles to just score an absolute crap ton of runs. I mean, their team total is set at 5.5 for a reason. I can see them getting 5 or 6 runs here. And also the Guardians, they have an elite bullpen. Maybe the best bullpen in the league, but they've used a ton of their arms, including Emmanuel Clase, their stud closer, who is very, very tough to hit. And he just pitched, I think, for like the 5th time in seven days. I doubt he's available. Hentage, I think I pronounced that wrong, but he just pitched. And they've had some arms. They're still going to be fine, but I'm just wanted to point out that they do have some arms that will be out. And then Grayson Rodriguez, he is the better starting pitcher, obviously, but he has not been that great lately. He has a 4.44 ERA in June. He's really struggling when he has to face a lineup the third time through. We've seen it a few times in his last few starts. And the stats back it up. 304 average given up in the third time through the order. He's facing a very dangerous Guardians lineup here. They do not strike out much. They are just unbelievable. It is so hard to get them out. They have such great bat-to-ball skills, especially starts with Stephen Kwan, obviously, Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, just all these guys. But they have a top 10 WRC+, top 10 OPS, top 10 ISO. Guardians are showing some surprise power this year. Not saying they're a power team, but last year they were so terrible. They were dead last by far. They are a little better this year, but I think the Orioles can get to them. I think Grayson can get hit around a little bit. I do expect to have see the Orioles in the lead after the first 5 innings, but Orioles bullpen somewhat gassed. They have not been very impressive to me lately. Another big reason I like the over 9.5 is the weather. It is going to be warm. The wind is going to be blowing out. It is absolutely perfect conditions in Baltimore. I expect some fireworks. Give me the over 9.5 as my first best bet. And now let's talk our trade of the day. All right, it's time for the KALSHI trade of the day like we did yesterday. This is a lot of fun, guys. If you didn't hear it yesterday, you can trade on just all sorts of world events that are of interest of you, which is what makes this a ton of fun. It is federally regulated in all 50 states. It's pretty awesome. But the one we're going to do today, we are looking at that new video game coming out, EA Sports College Football 25. And we are going to take the 80 or greater score from Metacritic. We think this is going to be a good game. As you can see, 62 cents. What that shows, if you're new to all this, is that it is a slight favorite, pretty much, to go over 80. You could go 85 or greater, but that just seems a little high for us. But when this trading is not paused and resumes in the morning, as you can see, there's trading hours late at night. It pauses. But we're going to bet this. I mean, we have to. There's not been a college football game in over 10 years. I have been waiting for this. Ryan's been waiting for this. It's going to be a lot of fun. No way EA can mess this up, right? You would think. But anyways, anything you look at the game, Dynasty mode looks awesome. Everything looks great about this game. We think it's going to come out with an 80 or greater Metacritic score. And as you can see there on the bottom, there's a lot of cool stuff. And it tells you exactly if it's above 79 3 days after release at 10 a.m. Eastern, that's when it's chosen yes and all that kind of stuff. And then you have ideas and things, comments below. So anyways, that's our trade of the day. Go check out KALSHI. Go sign up. First 500 signups get that $20 bonus credit as well. The link is in the description. And now it's back to the bets. This second bet takes us out to LA, where the Angels host the Oakland A's. Angels moneyline minus 125, A's moneyline plus 105, with a total of 9.5 runs. This is the game of the day. Everybody can't wait for this, but I have a great bet to go with it. Give me Joey Estes under 4.5 Ks at minus 125 on Bet365. We've been betting some under K props lately, 2-1 in the last 3, just lost in the hook, as you guys know, with Gomber yesterday. Let's get back on the winning track. 5.53 ERA and only 31 Ks in 40.2 innings for Mr. Joey Estes. Teams are starting to catch up to him. He had a rough start, or he had a better start to his season because he's practically a rookie. Nobody really knew him. After a few starts, there's been more tape on him, and he's been getting absolutely rocked. In the last 3 starts, though, for Ks, he has 1, 2, and 3 strikeouts, twice against the Twins and once against the Padres. He actually has 5 or less Ks in 7 of 8 starts. Now, I know 5 is over this number, but just to let you know, his ceiling is pretty much 5. He has 4 or less Ks in 4 of 8 starts. In the 4 games, he barely went over this line. It was against the Seattle Mariners twice, the Rays, and then also the Rockies. These are 3 high strikeout teams. And if you were striking out 5 Seattle Mariner players, that's kind of like striking out 1 player on another team. I mean, that's just not very good. He has mightily struggled on the road. 8.02 ERA, only 19 Ks in 21.1 innings. If you look at his lines and what the books are saying, his outs line is 15.5, heavily juiced to the under. We're looking at 5 innings, maybe less here, especially if he gets rocked. So he's not going to have a ton of chances. He's 11th percentile in whiff rate. He just does not get a lot. In his last 3 starts, he got 6, 5, and 7 total whiffs in those games. That is not a lot, like I said. But he's facing an Angels lineup. They're as average can get for a matchup here. Since May 1st, 22% K rate, like 15th. Since June 1st, 17th, 21.7%. I mean, it is just right smack in the middle, so they're not a great matchup for him. I think this 4.5 line should be 3.5, to be honest with you. Angels also have the 11th lowest chase rate, so they're not a team that's just swinging out everything, and they're about average like normal with their K rates. They're average in the whiff percentage as well. So with how bad he's been on the road, he has a chance to get rocked at any moment against any team on the road. And if they rock him, he's going to get out early, and we should easily cash this. But even if not, I still like the Angels to only strike out 4 or less times here. And I think the 4.5 line, it's a line you should give him when he's facing the Mariners. I'll just say that. And as you can see, he had 5 Ks and 5 Ks against the Mariners. So this is not an elite matchup. It's an average matchup. Give me the under 4.5 Ks and hold your freaking breath. Give me Joey Estes. And also, you can watch the A's and Angels game. What's better than that? You guys are going to be working all day, and I'll be watching that maybe. I don't know who has a better day. I'm going to be honest with you. This game should be ugly. But that is my second best bet. Now, that's all I got for the video. It's late right now. That's all we could get out. But I'm going to get bets out maybe even before I go to bed in the pinned comments and also on X and Discord. Games start early. But I have some hitter parlay ideas. They went 3-2 yesterday after going 5-0 the day before. Again, it's not one big parlay. This is just me giving you ideas. So, first one, Brian Reynolds. 22-game hit streak, hitting 409 in the last 7 days. He's just been absolutely unbelievable. Facing Graham Cracker Ashcraft, 10.1 hits per 9 innings. That's all I have to say about Reynolds. Jose Altuve, 370 the last 7 days, hitting around 300 on the year. He now has 2+ hits in 4 of his last 6 games, 1+ hit in 12 of his last 16, and he is facing Ryan freaking Feltner. He is not good at all. No bueno. He's given up almost 11 hits per 9 innings with a 6.03 ERA. He's given up 7 or more hits in 4 of his last 5 starts. Great matchup for him and also his teammate, Mr. Alex Bregman, on absolute fire right now. Hitting 440 in the last 7 days, 1+ hit in 22 of the last 25 games, and he's facing Feltner. Repeat from above. And by the way, you may see a best bet for me with Alex Bregman over hits, runs, and RBIs in the pinned comments. Is almost as soon as we're done with this. I got to dive in and get the numbers and everything, but just wanted to point that out and let you guys know. So a little bonus for you guys to know ahead of time. It's going to have a second leg to it as well. But Ryan McMahon, the lefty for the Rockies, hitting 280 on the season. He's on a 9-game hitting streak. This is a guy we haven't talked about before. He's hitting the same home and away, so he's not just a Coors Field hitter or anything like that, and he's facing Spaghetti, who struggles a little bit versus lefties, giving up a 298 average against lefties and a little bit more hard contact. And then Jonathan India, he is hitting a ridiculous 524 last 7 days, as you guys already saw on Who's on Fire. 2+ hits in 4 straight games, 1+ hit in 12 of the last 15. He hits better at home, 270 compared to 246 on the road. He's facing the Pirates bullpen and starting with Luis Ortiz, very hittable pitcher. And then that's about it. Sixth one, I'll just say obvious ones. There's Bryce Harper hitting 538 last 7 days. Shohei, C.J. Abrams, like we just won. Gunnar Henderson, maybe all Orioles hitters against Carrasco. Jarren Duran, even though he went 0 for 5 yesterday, been on a roll. Stephen Kwan, and Yandy Diaz, stud. All the obvious ones. So we'll just put it all in one, name it obvious. So anyways, those are the hitter parlay ideas, my 2 best bets, and all the research help for you today. And now let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. Just the 2 best bets right now. Over 9.5 Guardians and Orioles at -110, and Joey Estes under 4.5 Ks at -125. More added plays to come, and they got to come quick because we got some games starting early, at least early my time. So thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. And if you're part of that Wednesday showdown, be sure to leave a comment with those 5 players for the total bases and see if you can win 6 months free of Outlier. And just a final reminder, Outlier and KALSHI, both links are in the description below. But hope everyone has a great Wednesday. Let's cash some bets, and we'll talk to you soon.